Okay guys, welcome back to the next episode in the EVO rebuild series. Today we're going to be dropping the rear diff with the housing and taking a look above to the rest of the chassis to see if there's any rust form that we can't see because it's obviously all fitted, and we'll be cleaning the diff up. The diff was perfectly fine beforehand, and after draining the oils I was happy with the way they looked, and there was no metal or debris on the AYC drain plug because it's magnetic. It would show you if there was anything wrong. So I'm just going to take it somewhat apart and clean up how the exterior of it looks. There's no other leaks other than the axle seal, so yeah, I'm happy with the way the diff actually mechanically performs, so I don't need to strip it apart totally, just want to make it look nicer. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. Okay, so step one to removing the diff, we need to get the AYC lines off. Now you can take them off from the diff end, but it's probably going to be easier to just take them off where the AYC is, and then when you drop everything, those lines will just come with it. I think that's the easier way of going about things. So they're actually a 9/16. A 14mm is a little bit too small and a 15mm is a little bit too big. So you just want to crack these off. Have a little bucket and a rag underneath at the ready, because it's probably going to leak out AYC fluid everywhere. Obviously you've probably already drained the diff before doing this, but there's obviously going to be lines in here. Sorry, there's obviously going to be fluid in these lines anyway, so you need to get that done first. I'm looking at the state of these lines, I may have to replace them. They're pretty corroded and they don't look all that good. And next you want to remove the 4 12mm nuts and bolts that go into the drive shaft that connect to the diff. Otherwise you're not going to be able to drop the diff whatsoever. And a quick tip, if you make sure your car's in neutral, you'll be able to freely spin the drive shaft. And now with the 4 bolts removed, with a little bit of persuasion, maybe with a bar or whatever you've got to hand, you should be able to get the drive shaft away from the diff. Mine's on there pretty good, I'll be honest. So after an absolute rigmarole of trying to get this prop shaft off the back of the diff, I finally managed to do it after taking the rest of the exhaust off. As you can see, we've just got the cat and the downpipe remaining. I managed to prop this prop shaft up with a little transmission jack, and I had to heat this up over and over again while spinning the prop, giving it some smacks with a mallet. Eventually she came loose. Well, I had to pry bar it out, but that was really seized on there, and I believe it's the ring here that there's sort of an inset where it connects to the diff. That looks really corroded on the edge, so I think that's where it was actually seized. But I got it out eventually, so if you guys struggle as well, just heat it up and smack it with a rubber mallet or a mallet with something over the top of it, and eventually you'll just start to see it prise away. So now that is disconnected, that's the final thing holding us back from, other than the bolts obviously, from dropping this diff. So let's crack on. Unfortunately, I am really struggling getting this bolt out that holds the diff housing in. The front one comes out easy, same on the other side, and both these rear ones are a nightmare. I've managed to actually get the other side out, but this one is just stripped, so I've got a extractor set coming tomorrow, so I'm going to have to put this bit on pause. So I've decided, let's just pull the AYC pump out, because that's got to come out anyway, until we can carry on with that tomorrow.
Noizy.
Okay, so it's the next day and I picked up this bolt extractor set. It goes from 17mm to 22mm, and we'll get one smacked on that nut that's causing us all these problems, and hopefully we'll get it out. Just going to apply some heat to it first so the socket goes on a little bit easier. see if we can't get this bolt out. There you have it, guys. All that hassle for one bolt. It's pretty, if you can see, it's pretty bad. So we won't be reusing that, but it's a long boy. So this one's a lot easier to get out. There's two more at the back, and then I think we'll get it supported with the jack, and I think it's ready to just fall out. It's probably seized in. Better to get out than those other ones, I must say. And that's it, guys. After many hours, many stuck bolts, and many stressful moments, that's a rear diff out of an EVO 8. And this is an AYC diff. I can't find a single video on YouTube to help me that removes a AYC diff. They're all like a non-AYC diff or something. The ones I see on YouTube do not look like mine whatsoever. So yeah, really difficult, I'll be honest. That was I've been trying to get this out for days and just has been setback after setback. But not to moan anymore. The diff is out, and here's how it looks about one end. The only thing I could not get out is this diff brace. This side will not come out. This one flies out, and this stud here, I don't know what is up with it. So I've just ended up unbolting it from these two support points, and I can get this out afterwards. But actually, looking at the chassis, other than all this surface rust here, it's not too bad. I thought this would be caked, not caked. I thought this would be really rotten, but I'm actually quite pleased with that. I'm going to take the tank out next and see what it's like up there, but for now, just a bit of surface rust, so I'm happy.